without question, the original Alien, Ridley Scott's, one of the great horror movies of all time, and no Alien movie since then has been better or even as good as a horror movie, or just a new vision in general. And Aliens, Jim Cameron's movie that I had the good fortune to work on, unsurpassed in the movie that it was by any movie with that title since. And if there is another Alien movie, I hope that it takes a brand new direction. What worked about Aliens, following something as brilliant as Alien, is it took a brand new direction. It was a sequel. It wasn't a remake. It didn't try to be the same movie. It was legitimate to the original, but it was an entirely new experience.
What Cameron did was probably the only thing you could do was what he did, which was to not try to repeat it as a classic horror movie, but to come in as an action adventure and go in there and punch and bang and shoot it out with that critter. It's probably the canniest solution to doing a sequel to that. And then it was really played out. There was really nothing left. So they did it again twice.
Yeah, the sequels to this is really hard, I think, because we were the inventor of the creature, and therefore it's always going to be more original. The joke is always funnier told the first time.
I think there's definitely a future in the Alien franchise. What I would hate to see is it just pop culturized, as opposed to really making it, again, more thematic, more about something. I think one of the great areas to explore is, who are the aliens? Where do they come from? What do they really want?
What created them? It's sort of like the shark was called, in Jaws, its perfect eating machine. Well, the aliens were almost like a genetically developed. I think they touched on that in Alien 4. It's almost as if they were designed to do one thing, and that's like kill everything in sight and then breed and then start a new generation. But I think that's a possibility. And I think Jim may have mentioned that many years ago, because I said, what do you I think we all talked about which way would you go. It's sort of obvious, I think, unless you come up with something very different.
I'd actually like it to stop. I think there's enough. I think there was enough after the second one, actually.
The concept of the alien is kind of finished now, isn't it? I think nobody's scared about it anymore. It's just a lot of rubber or prancing about. I personally wouldn't put money into another Alien.
What can they do with it now? The only thing they can do with it now is to make it more bloodthirsty, kill more people, and sort of be as gross as they can make it to make people see it. Because I don't think people now have the patience to see a film like Alien and Alien 3.
I don't know, though. That's why I don't run Fox. You know what I mean? I don't know the answer to any of that shit.
I think you need a visionary writer-director who isn't going to try to remake the previous films, and has that kind of enthusiasm for the series that has been demonstrated to date. I'm certainly not going to handicap what the best version would be, but I don't think it's a version that I don't think the series should be over now. It's just lived too long and too successfully to give up now.
I think, to a certain degree, studios get a property that is a valuable franchise, and that's why they couldn't not do Alien 4, because it's simply a means to print money, because everybody knows it. So therefore, I mean, artistically, if you know, another kind of Vincent Ward type of, you know, completely interesting, you know, concept comes up, and of course Sigourney wants to do it, then, you know, I mean, I think she's the crucial aspect. But then again, because Alien is the title character, it's like you really don't even need Sigourney, and so maybe the studio's concept is like Superman, you know what I mean, or James Bond. You know, it's like one of those kind of franchises that is endless, and it makes no sense for the studio not to continue to make them, because it is an interesting plastic, malleable idea that can go in 1,000 directions. So I have a feeling that there will be an Alien 5, and there'll probably be an Alien 10 by the time I'm a real old man, you know.
If they'd started sequels earlier, this should have been number 6. And maybe I'd have done one more. Maybe I would have done one other. I may have done 2.
For all I know, there may end up being an Alien 20. But, you know, I mean, how many used condoms do we have to stack up on a shelf?
That franchise isn't dead by any means. Or you could do a sitcom with the aliens, you know, At Home with the Aliens.